Imagine you're baking a cake, and these are your ingredients. Flour, sure, but a wrench? Socks? And a battery? This makes no sense. This is what happens when your code isn't cohesive. It's about too many things all at once. And the number one reason developers waste hours debugging, rewriting, and fighting their own code is that it is poorly cohesive. In this video, we're going to fix that. I'll show you exactly what cohesion is, how to measure it, and most importantly, how to write code that's easy to work with. And if you've ever struggled to understand your own code weeks after writing it, then this video can help. So let's dive in. Hello world, I'm David Scott Bernstein and welcome to The Passionate Programmer. In this video, we're diving into cohesion, the first and most important code quality for building extendable software. Let's be real, bad code is everywhere. And when code lacks cohesion, every change is a risk, every bug is a mystery, and every project takes a lot longer than it should. Most of the time, bad cohesion is not obvious. It sneaks up on you. The class starts simple, and then it does more and more until one day it becomes an unmanageable mess. But once you understand cohesion, you will see it everywhere. In well-structured code, but also in building architecture, in how you structure your daily life. Everywhere, because it is so powerful. In software, when we lack cohesion, it increases technical debt exponentially. When code is cohesive, it's self-documenting. It's easier to read and understand. This helps new developers onboard faster because they grasp the responsibilities of the code more quickly. It improves code reuse. It's much more straightforward to repurpose code that is cohesive than uncohesive code. It reduces merge conflicts because smaller, more cohesive components are easier to integrate. It encourages modular design, which supports scalability and flexibility. It makes debugging faster and more straightforward. It enables independent deployment because smaller changes affect fewer parts of the system. And it reduces accidental complexity, making code easier to reason about. Cohesion means that every piece of your code, every class, every method is about one thing and one thing only. Think of it like a toolbox. If I open my toolbox and I find kitchen utensils, car keys, and a stack of mail, then you know it's going to be much harder for me to find the things that I need, and I'll waste a lot of time. Here's an example of some terrible cohesion. The user manager class does everything. It handles login, it saves files, it updates the database. It's like the Swiss Army knife of this program with 50 tools you can barely use. Now compare that to this, the refactored version. Each class has a single purpose. Authentication handles authentication. The file system manages files, and user repository deals with the database. This is cohesion in action. Cohesion ensures clear separation of concerns, improving maintainability. Well-structured code follows the single responsibility principle, which makes code more cohesive. Cohesion reduces dependencies, preventing the ripple effect of bugs throughout our code. Cohesion simplifies testing, leading to more reliable code, and it makes refactoring safer and easier in the long run. These are big benefits. We know cohesion is important, but let's talk about real-world impacts. Here's some benefits of highly cohesive code. It significantly drops maintenance costs. We have fewer bugs and they're fixed faster. It increases developer satisfaction. Teams love working with clean, cohesive code. We have better performance from our software. Debugging is easier. We spend less time tracking down unrelated issues and more time building new features. There's more predictable refactoring. Small changes don't break the entire system. Writing clean code isn't just about style. It's about making your software maintainable, scalable, and extendable. But keeping all those practices in your head, that can be tough, which is why I created the Clean Code Cheat Sheet, a one-page guide to instantly improve your code quality. It covers the 5 essential qualities of clean code, so you can write better code faster. Want a copy? You can download it for free as part of my Clean Code Toolkit. The link is in the description. One company that I worked with had this massive utility helper class, and every feature relied on it. Every change caused unexpected issues. After refactoring to focus modules, this team saw a 40% reduction in defects and a 30% increase in development speed. This was significant for them. I worked with another team that was struggling with a bloated order processor class, and every time they modified it, they would get all sorts of unexpected defects and bugs. By breaking the system down into classes, they created an order validator, order calculator, an order repository, and each component became easier to manage. Their bugs dropped significantly. Teams with highly cohesive code fix features faster and build features faster. It reduces the cognitive load, which leads to happier, more productive developers. Cohesion results in fewer regressions after code changes. Strongly cohesive code enables better documentation practices. And a cohesive code base is easier to onboard new developers into. Cohesion is important, but it's only the first step. It's not enough on its own. You also need to keep your code loosely coupled, so your components aren't glued together in ways that make it impossible to change. In this next video, we'll talk about loose coupling and how to write code that's flexible, adaptable, and easy to replace. And trust me, this is where a lot of developers go wrong, so you won't want to miss it. Check it out. So if you want to stop writing code that breaks every time you add a feature, watch this next video on coupling. Subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any new videos when they come out. Until then, happy coding.